Bend, Indiana. We have a late season top 25 showdown that could be crucial to the postseason picture. It's the Oregon Ducks and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Reese Davis, David Pollack, Jesse Palmer with you, and Holly Rowe is down on the sideline. Hello, Holly.
Here in South Bend, this is one of the most revered college campuses and college football shrines. You know, touchdown Jesus, all of the excitement at Notre Dame Stadium. You hear the echoes of the Irish every time you step on the field. Guys?
Okay, Holly. Notre Dame lining up to kick off and get this one started. On the move from inside his 5. And a really nice job by the kick team to get down there and make sure they limit that return. This is what we expected. This crowd ready to make its presence known. Gives it on the option. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. The Ducks trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. The Ducks signal for their first timeout. After using an early one, 2 left for them to spend. And now on second down for this offense. Throwing more. Takes the easy completion. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks.
Early in the game, I love getting my quarterback in rhythm. Easy pitch and catch. You've thrown him 4,000 times. Not big shots, but just put you in nice positions on the next downs coming up.
Moore with the play fake. Here comes the heat. On the move, he fires. Sweet throw and catch along the sideline. It's enough for the first down.
Well, on a lot of third downs, tight ends can be a quarterback's best friend, but especially this guy. I mean, he's got a unique skill set catching the football. He could be the primary target, not just on this offense, but on offenses all around the country as well. And on that third down, really nice route, gets the separation, able to make the catch. They pick up the first, and they keep this drive alive.
You want to make play calling easy for an offensive coordinator? Run the ball like that every pro. I mean, when you can run that on first down and set up a short yardage on second down, it makes play calling easy. Every single call on that sheet is available here on second down.
Got 8 on first down, now looking at a 2nd and 2. Moore. Oh, they're after him. Fires to the big fella. Still running at the 40. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks.
You know, there used to be a time in college football where tight ends were just possession receivers. You'd throw it to them and they'd go down right away. Not this guy. That was a short throw. And then he shows you the athleticism once he has the ball in his hands. That's why he is such a tough matchup for any defense. Man, he's a problem.
The Ducks have this offense rolling. Using his legs, it's Davison. Got it inside the 30 before he's finally pulled down at the 25. It's a gain of 6.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on first down, man, you are doing just that.
This crowd bringing the energy and noise early. shows him the stiff arm. Out of bounds he goes. They'll mark it at the 16.
Now, I think this receiver's forte is his route running. He's a guy that can line up all over the field, but it's not just catching post routes and goes. This guy can run shallows, he can run slants, he can run the option routes and find soft spots in the defense. This guy really has all the routes in his toolbox.
They get him down, but he was driving his way and gets it down to the 7-yard line.
Talking to their coaches, they said, we are going to run the ball on the first drive of this game and really see if we can establish that line of scrimmage. You've seen that early so far, and after that explosive run, they've now set themselves up here in the red zone looking to score some points.
Running inside, it's Davison. And how about that play by that giant, that mountain of a man on the defensive front? Not a lot of ground to cover and not much to defend. A big third down in the red zone. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is.
And this is what's going to drive coaches crazy. It's mental errors, right? It doesn't take any talent or lack of talent to have that penalty. You just got to watch the ball, and when it's snapped, get after the quarterback.
Dante Moore looking for the score. Touchdown, Oregon. Fired in from the red zone for the score.
How about that first drive? The hardest thing to do in college football is win on the road. They're the underdog, coming into a hostile environment. What do? Possession one, go right down the field and shut everybody in this building up.
Getting set for the extra point after putting the scoreboard to work for the first time. And the extra point makes it 7-0. So a drive there of 85 yards, and they finish it up with a 3-yard scoring toss. And he takes this from inside the 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Might be changing the route. Throwing, Carr. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down. Second down coming.
Hey, man, if you're going to force incompletions when the QB's thrown to the tight end, you better be physical. Nice job with the hit, forcing that incompletion.
What will they dial up on second and a long way to go? To the air, it's Carr. Picked off, what a play to set him up. Touchdown, Ducks. What a play, not only the interception, but the great return for the score.
And the defense sets the tone early in this football game. We're still in the first quarter, and this is looking like they're putting a complete game together. Offense scoring, defense scoring. Palmer, they're up 2 touchdowns already.
Yeah, you got to give this coaching staff credit. They have their guys ready to go, and this is what you call firing on all cylinders early in a game.
He'll take the return and try to improve the field position. Cross the 25 to the 26 before going out of bounds, and that's where the offense will go to work. Opening play of this drive comes from the 26-yard line. On the ground, it's Walton. Plows through the defense.
Loses 6. Second down.
That's the end of the period, and Oregon has the lead. And they were able to build that lead into double figures. Let's take a quick look at our early stats before we move on. Now, the challenge here, they've taken a punch, but they can't let it get out of hand as we start the second. First play of the period will be a second down. Someone not clear on the snap count. It'll be a false start, and they'll move it back. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. The Irish open the period facing second down. Wide receiver comes in motion. He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play.
I like offenses being creative. I'm not sure if that was the best place to call that play. I think this offense needs to think about just doing things a little bit more by the book. They've got a lot of good playmakers. You don't have to reinvent the wheel this early in the game.
Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. Third and long, backed up inside their 20. Throws it back. He fires to the left side. And they wanted it all on third down, but now dealing with fourth down.
Well, you knew you were going to see it in this game, throwing the go route to one of the fastest players in all of college football. This receiver strikes fear in the heart of every defense because he's got elite track speed. He is going to blow the combine up in the 40-yard dash because of his wheels. Not able to connect with the quarterback on that one, but you know he has the defense's attention.
And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. And what a drive that was the last time they had it. Basically the length of the field. Much better starting point this time. Hit and brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
Got to give the defense credit. Watching film, anticipating. They knew that this offense had this play in their back pocket. They knew about the speed of this wide receiver and different ways they were going to try to get him involved. Everybody on defense on the same page, playing together. I love it.
It'll be incomplete. Tried to extend the play, but just couldn't find anybody open.
And how loud is it in this building? This is crazy. These fans are going absolutely nuts. And I used to love when the fans got involved, and I'm on defense, because it messes with the snap count, it messes with the communication, and it can really rattle an offense.
On the gun, on third down, Dante Moore. Trying to escape and get it himself. They make the stop about 4 yards short of the first down.
And that's a pretty good job by this defense. Man, it's so hard to limit these quarterbacks, and they're spreading you out all over the field. When they take off, it's hard to limit the damage. Nice job limiting the damage. And I tell you what, make it physical. Finish those plays and try to tackle that guy and make him think about running the football in the future.
Fourth down, Moore. Stepping to the right. And it's knocked away, and they don't convert on fourth down.
And those fourth down stops are so huge for momentum to turn the ball back to your offense. Great pass defense, seeing the ball, breaking on it, swatting it down so the receiver couldn't make a play. Nice job by this defense.
On the ground, it's Walton. Nowhere to go on that one. It'll bring up second and 10. Guys, let's talk for a minute about Notre Dame. They've climbed into the top 15, reached a little bit of a checkpoint, haven't they? Playoff is 12 teams. But it's right about this range, and people start tuning in to see what you can do, to see if you're the real deal. Isn't that right, David?
Yeah, and cheering against you, right? Like a lot of times because their teams are doing well or competing with you. But let's see if the squad can build on the momentum. Starting to get some momentum, some love now, Jesse. How do they handle that?
I'm excited to see how this team is going to finish, too, because we know they've got talent. They've got guys that can take the game over. The question I have now moving forward, can they do it on the biggest stages? And today, it's about as big as it gets.
And listen, as a quarterback, you're trying to find the matchup, trying to find who's open. I don't know if anybody was open, but that was not a greatly thrown football. I don't know if it was miscommunication, but the ball thrown out of bounds and just on to the next down.
The Fighting Irish called their first timeout. They'll have 2 left to work with before the half. They've got a good chunk of ground to cover on 3rd and long from the 41. Might be calling a hot route. Carr from the gun on 3rd down. Throws for the tight end. Another incompletion on 3rd down.
That's why it's so important for this defense to win 1st and 2nd down. You set up 3rd and longs like that. You can show your exotic looks. You can get the pass rush going. Everybody in the back end expecting throw. And that's how you force incompletions and force 4th downs.
They take over late in the half, enough time to put together a drive. Here's Moore to throw. That's caught. It's Stewart.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly. That's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm.
Moore to the air. Under fire. And down he goes. Notre Dame will now use its 2nd timeout. They'll take a moment to gather their thoughts and put together a plan for this 3rd down play.
Well, we knew coming into this game, this defense had some matchups they felt really good about up front. They won one right there, getting to the quarterback, creating a negative play. And they're going to need these guys to start winning more of those because they are finding themselves in a hole here early in the game.
Moore from the gun, trying to convert 3rd down. Throws to the tight end. He's open on the right. They finally get to him, but what a play there to pick up the 1st down.
And it's so fun to have that trump card, right? Like, it's almost like playing a video game with this guy. When you got a big tight end that can make plays, that gets open, that feels those soft spots in the zones, 3rd downs, money downs, the tight end is always open, especially with that big body. He finds him, and he gets the 1st down.
The Irish use their 3rd and final timeout. And they won't be able to stop the clock again for the remainder of this half. Throwing Moore. Pocket breaking down. Across the 45. All the way out across the 45-yard line. Mark it out of bounds at the 46.
This is why everybody grows up and wants to be an offensive coordinator and not a defensive coordinator, because he can do that. He drops back. He's supposed to pass, but you know what? I'll just scramble around, and I'll just go get plenty of yards and pick them up and put them down. And I'm faster than most of your other guys, too, so good luck stopping them.
The defense wins that one, and the offensive line was challenged by their coaching staff coming into this game to try and get push up front and establish the line of scrimmage. They're going to have to do a better job running than that if they're going to win this one.
After picking up a couple at 2nd and 8. Moore will throw. Makes the catch. It's hooked.
Well, I think for that play to work, you need to have some access and cushion and coverage for the receiver to be able to do something with it after the catch. That time, the defender was just way too close, all over him. He tackles him for no gain.
The volley cheers going on high, and here comes the Thunder being shaken down on 3rd down. Now here's Moore. Lets it fly. And they won't be able to connect downfield, looking for a big-time play.
Well, the defense finally has figured it out. That was critical for their confidence because they had been scored on earlier. They'd given up a ton of yards. I think they understood the gravity of the situation. 3rd down, that was critical for them to get off the field, build momentum, build some confidence. Nice job that time by the defense.
Makes a nice grab at the 25. They stop him immediately, flying down the field and get to him before he can even get started. This late in the half, here's the question. How aggressive will the play calling be? Looks as if they didn't get it off in time. It'll be a delay of game. That is a completely avoidable penalty. The quarterback just went into brain lock and lost track of the play clock. One more snap coming before halftime. Quarterback making adjustments. Here's Carr to throw. Got him downfield. He goes out of bounds right at the 37-yard line. A good, productive play there to get things going. And we are headed to halftime. Both squads headed into the locker room to make some adjustments. Gives us an opportunity to check in with Kevin Connors in our EA Sports College Football Studio Update.
Guys, week 12, almost zero margin for error. Just the way we like it here on the EA Sports College Football Update Show. And leading things off, we take a look at Miami, taking on the number 6 team, the Louisville Cardinals. And it's the home team, locked up in a tight one in this matchup of top 10 teams. We haven't even hit the half here today, and it's already shaping up to be an instant classic. Here now, a look at some other games of note, including a big upset inside the Pac-12 Conference.
Pulls and fires complete. Great job on the containment and the tackling. They stop him for no gain.
Well, the offense is trying to get a big-time playmaker the ball out in space quickly with the wide receiver screen, but the defense is having none of it.
Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. They'll send the back in motion. Here's C.J. Carr to throw. Dumps it off in the flats. He's brought down, but he went backwards after that completion, not the way they had it drawn up.
You know, this linebacker is a special player because not only is he good making tackles in the open field, this guy can cover, and you saw a great example of it with that running back.
And this offense can ill afford to come up empty on this drive, already trailing by multiple possessions. The Ducks signal for their first timeout. And that will leave them with just 2 timeouts to use the rest of the way. The Irish will need to move the sticks on 3rd and long to keep this drive going. The offense changing the play. From the gun on 3rd down, Carr plucks it out of the air. And he was loose and out the gate and doesn't go down until he gets to the 48-yard line.
And as a defense, how scary is it having to defend this guy? He's one of the fastest players in America, and you saw it on that last play. It's not necessarily throwing him the ball over your head. They just get it to him quickly. The hard part now is running and tackling that guy. Not easy to do.
Could not make his way to the corner.
This offense is going to try and stretch the field vertically and horizontally. They did there throwing it to their running back, but the defense, they were in perfect position to make that play for no gain.
And guys, that completion might have helped the old confidence, but it didn't help the down and distance. 2nd and 10 here. Carr. And it'll be incomplete. This defense is physical and pass deep.
And we were talking about it at half, guys. Like, how are they going to crack this puzzle, right? This defense so elite in the first half. Second half, they come out. They're trying to throw the football. Man, I just don't know where the weaknesses are. They're going to have to keep working and keep trying to make that big play and stay aggressive. But so far, on every level of this defense, they've been dominant.
Oh, he can't hang on. Almost had the interception, and this guy makes so many big plays, but couldn't come up with that one. It'll be 4th down. And that one will sail out of bounds. No chance for a return there. The Oregon offense is on the field to get this drive going. On the run, it's Davison. Cross the 30 to the 35, and that's a gain of 6.
And that's a good sign for this offense, maybe finishing this football game. Maybe they can get that crown game going. They've tried. They just haven't had a lot of success. Made them very one-dimensional. Nice to see them run the football with some efficiency later in this game.
He's got it again. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
And we knew the linebackers were the strength of this defense, but coming in the offense, man, they felt really good about their running back. And so far, man, it's been a fun matchup to watch, but advantage to these guys that have been filling gaps, scraping, getting to the football, making plays. This linebacker unit really held down this rushing attack that they usually hang their hat on.
He'll pull it down and run. He's out across the 40, out of bounds at the 41, and execution continues to be key. And the Ducks will snap it on 1st and 10. Keeping it on the ground inside. It's Davison. And he doesn't find much running room, a short gain on the play.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
Moore flips it out in the flat. He is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose yards on that one.
Well, you haven't seen a lot of incompletions from this guy now in his last 2 games out. Completed over 70% of his throws last week. He's doing it again in this game. As a head coach, you got to love the fact that your quarterback is dialed in.
Here comes this home crowd as the defense tries to get off the field on 3rd down. Moore trying to get everyone on the same page. He'll try to do it himself.
You know, we talk about quarterbacks having to make quick decisions, and I think you saw it on that play. Nobody opened downfield, but he just decided to take off.
The Ducks will send out the punt unit. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. This game is all but officially a wrap as we take a look at the top 25. Late in the season, time running short if teams want to make their move in the rankings. 1 more quarter to go, and it looks as if we are ready to play. The Ducks will bring the punt team onto the field. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. Looks it all the way in, and now turns his attention upfield. Was looking for more running room, but found nothing but more tacklers. He's down at the 24. Notre Dame comes onto the field ready to go to work. They get the ball back after the punt, and they've got to be efficient here as time is winding down. Throwing right. Got his man downfield. And they finally get him down, but not before. He's got him set up for business at the 49-yard line.
Well, you got to think here offensively that you may have 2 more possessions in this game. You can still win, but you've got to be aggressive. You've got to start taking shots vertically down the field, throwing to your best players.
Makes the grab. Steps out at the 34-yard line. Big pickup on that one in this offense within striking distance.
And this offense has not had much to cheer about. There's something right there. Let's see if they can string a couple of plays together. Listen, this game's probably over, but this offense has got to find some kind of a rhythm, something they can hang their hat on so that moving forward, this offense has an identity.
Throwing, Carr. Takes the easy throw in the flat. The defense wouldn't let him loose there, and it was a completion, but they lost yardage.
Love the awareness by the defense here. They're trying to get the running back the ball in space, but the defense was expecting it. They had guys in position. They located the football, and they went and gang tackled.
Notre Dame has made this 2nd down play much more difficult after going backwards. Quarterback making checks. To the air again, Carr. And that's going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That was a physical matchup there. 3rd down coming.
And if this offense is going to get back in the football game, those are the plays they have to make. Like, they have to make contested catches. They got to find a way to get some points, to create some explosive plays. Those 50-50 balls, when you get your hand on it, man, they got to start making those plays.
Here comes a third down situation, and the defense hasn't been able to slow them down. Motion from the wide receiver. Maybe a double pass. Here's a heat. It's complete on the right side. Oh, he's got some space. They'll make the stop about a yard short of the first down.
And on offense right now, you're at a juncture here of the game in the fourth quarter, trailing the way you are. You can't punt anymore. Execution has got to be at a premium. And on that fourth down, they're able to hook up, move the sticks, and keep this momentum going.
C.J. Carr firing again. He's got it. He's brought down, but not before he picks up the first down on a gutsy call to keep this drive alive. Here's Carr to throw. Got his man on the outside. Hit and brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
You know, you got to be careful as a QB throwing to your running back in man coverage. If there's a linebacker draped all over him, then that ball's not going anywhere. And you just saw it right there. Better play by the defense.
That will take us to the 2-minute timeout, and not much time left for this offense to put together a miracle. They're dealing with a second and long. Back to throw, it's Carr. Unloads to the wideout. He makes a grab. Gets out of bounds after the big gain, but they've got it first and goal.
Hey, you know, the defense here in this situation with a huge lead, they've got to anticipate that this offense is going to be trying to throw the ball to the sideline, so they've got to work different coverages to try to force the quarterback to go over the middle of the field with the football.
Notre Dame has it now, first and goal. This is a designed run. And he's forced out of bounds close to the goal line, and that shove saved a touchdown.
And I'm good with it. I like what the offense is doing. Be physical. I don't need to get pass happy down here on first and goal. Nice job believing in my running game, and maybe I stick to it for another play or two.
And he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, Fighting Irish.
Well, the offense did their part. You're just trying to apply some pressure on the opponent, right? Yeah, you're down right now, but if you can find a way to get the ball back with some time on the clock, they're within striking distance still to win this game.
And they'll try to tack on two. Firing to the right, complete. He makes his way in for the two, and now they trail by only 6. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. This defensive front just ran free in the backfield. He'll lose 3. The Fighting Irish call their first timeout. They'll get together to decide how to play this second down. Second and long here, but objective number 1, keep that clock moving. Dante Moore fakes to grab. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down. Notre Dame will now use its second timeout. The brain trust getting thoughts together for this big third down coming up. You want to talk about shaking down thunder from the sky. That's what they're doing here on third down. Now here's more. Oh, he makes a catch. He's got enough for the first down, and that ought to be enough to put them in victory formation for the rest of this one. It's really not hard to find the difference between this game and the loss last week. Turned it over 3 times a week ago, none today.
And just a great response. Last week, you know, you're probably the reason you lost, and you didn't take care of the football. But now you step out here, you show your team you can bounce back, you can lead, take care of the football, and lead this team to victory.
The run inside. It's Davison. The Irish use their third and final timeout. And now what will they come up with on this second down play?
You got to give this defense credit because they have bottled this guy up all game long. He's one of the best running backs in all of college football. Everybody was expecting him to have a big one today. Tell that to this defense, though. They've played with great effort. They've gotten hats to the football, and they have been able to shut him down.
Continuing to turn and move it forward, and they're closing in on midfield. It's down at the 48.
I think if you're offense here, the game boils down to this one play on third down with the lead late. If you get the first down, that's ball game. There's not enough time left for the defense to get it back and go march down the field. So let's dial up our best play offensively. Let's make sure our best players are touching the football.
Short now from their own 48. Looking for space. It's Davison. He's not going to get there, and this defense really needed a stop like that.
Well, you got to give the defense credit. They knew a big key in this one was slowing this dude down, especially after how well he played the last time out. They have been swarming him. They have been gang tackling him and getting a lot of penetration up front.
Guys, if you want to go strictly by the rankings, I guess this was an upset, but to my eyes, we saw 2 really good teams slug it out, and one of them came out